is everybody this morning? Hello. Welcome, risers, rise. Shall we? Good to have you with us today on what is this, Thursday? Holy mackerel, what a week. We got lots going on today. I've got tons of video. The video is going to be from the meeting the other day. And some interesting observations. And I'll share those things with you this morning. Maybe get some phone calls. I don't know. 850-771-0049. I've got this, congestion from wearing a mask for hours at the airport because it's required by federal law. I'm not bitter. But good morning. My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Welcome, risers, to the program. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Milton Post for hosting, Jernigan's Landing, everybody for sharing it. God bless you. We've been having some big numbers. Awesome. Yeah. If you're gonna text in on the side, please do not use pronouns. No pronouns. There's a delay, so I don't know who the he, they is because I'm sometimes on to other things. So please make sure you use proper nouns. All right. God bless you. All right. We got a forecast for you today. Cloudy skies this morning, becoming partly cloudy this afternoon, high near 81. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, early giving way to cloudy skies later on, low near 67. And then tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms and a high near 83. The chance of rain tomorrow, 60%. It's 68 in Milton. It's 72 Gulf Breeze, 70 Navarre, and 71 in Pensacola. Yeah. Good to have everybody with us, whatever parts of the world you may be in. We got folks listening from all over, so God bless you. Thank you for being here. All right. So as I sorted through the video, downloaded it, sorted through it, edited it to get the juicy bits. We saw Chris Smith light him up. All right. So we've already seen Chris do his bit. We've got today and tomorrow because I've got it's the portion of the Schiebler fallout was rather lengthy. Very few people stuck to their 4 minutes. And but we're going to spend a lot today on Jerry Cooey, who actually brought all this to light for us the other day. We'll focus on Jerry Cooey and Sam Parker, their conversation back and forth. And I think that's important because I want to bring out something came up in that. And I went, something's not right. Something is not quite right. So, lemon juice and honey water, believe it or not. You know what works great? That does work good, but sometimes just warm salt water, gargling warm salt water. I'm for easy. Good morning, Donna. All right. So, but I appreciate the insight. All that stuff helps. All right. So let's get to it, shall we? So I want to, I think I got the right one here. This is, I believe, well, it's the question.
That's it. I respect your point of view. Okay? My response had nothing to do with what you said. My response was started before you came up here and speak, and Commissioner Peach shut me down to cover for him so he wouldn't have the question. So
the him was Schiebler. Peach was covering for Schiebler, so he wouldn't have to answer the question.
It has nothing to you, sir. I respect you. I'm trying to get answers for the people. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, let's be clear. You're not trying to get an answer from me, okay? I don't need your answer.
Thank you.
No, well, you didn't ask a question, so you didn't deserve an answer. It was a rambling 4 minutes of why am I here?
Mr. Schebler, would you please answer my question?
What was the question, sir?
My question is, you said you made a decision.
What was the question?
To not file scope funds. That's what I interpreted as at the last meeting. This is new because it was the last meeting when you apologized. And so I want to get an answer on, did did you make a decision to not file scope funds?
I believe I just answered that. I said we made a decision as an organization.
Not to file scope funds. What is the reason why you'd make a decision that cost us potentially a lot of money? What was the reason for that decision?
It didn't cost us any money. It cost us an opportunity, which has been covered and explained.
Okay, but why would...
So he's dodging. So the answer to the question, all the questions. So he had lies. And I said yesterday, and thought about this on over the weekend, is probably that we decided not to file, not to apply. I figured that was the truth in there somewhere, and evidently that is the case.
That decision. That's what I'm trying to ask, because this is a potential to get a lot of money. So, and we trust you to make good decisions.
I think I've answered that question. We made the decision based upon
Error number one.
priorities and the things that the Public Works Department was reviewing at that point in time with the new director that came on board the end of December. Administration is not normally part of this process, and I was notified. And
So you were notified to file the paper. I know that.
I was not notified to file the paperwork.
When?
The staff works with the FDOT staff.
You were emailed to file the
Yes, you were.
paperwork. And you're saying now that you made a decision not to pursue the SCOP funds.
I said we as an organization made a decision. I'm the head of the organization.
And then
I
you
take
told us
responsibility for that.
that you didn't, that you already filed the paperwork. And then
But you didn't take responsibility for it, Mr. Schiebler. You didn't take responsibility for it because you are deflecting. It falls on me, and I lied about it. But you're not taking responsibility. You say you are, but you're not.
you changed it 4 times. I mean, and so I just,
Yep.
I'm baffled, because this is money that we can't get now, based on you. So, I rest my case. Thank you.
Yep. And
Next
he was
on
right.
the list, Mr.
And he
Wayne
was
Smith.
right to lay it out there just like that. Schiebler, if he failed, fine. Right? So if he failed, I get it. But why lie about it? Why lie about it? We know he lied. Even though Mr. Nolan got up the other day, was it yesterday? I'm losing track of what day it is. Tuesday. He got up Tuesday, first one to speak, and he said he didn't lie. He misspoke. No, when you tell 4 different versions of the story, that's lying. And Mr. Schiebler knowingly lied to you. All right. So then Jerry Cooey gets up. He has a chance to speak, and I'll get to Sam Mullins, if not today, tomorrow. But this is a big portion of this today, and I want you to see all this. This is Jerry Cooey. Maybe.
Jerry Cooey, Milton, Florida. Have to talk a little more about the small county funding. A quick history that I think is important to be put out there. When Jerry Williamson was a commissioner in Santa Rosa County, we exceeded the 150 threshold. He at that time
Talking about the population to cut off for the SCOP funds.
Clay Ingram to work on the issue, and it got moved to 175. Now, as Jerry, as our state rep, we made it to the next gap, so Jerry handled it this time. I say that because I want everyone to understand that that was not a small task. 70 people in the House had to agree with that. People who don't even like us in South Florida had to agree with that. It wasn't Clay Ingram or Jerry Williamson going over there and just changing the number. It took.
So what he's saying is it took effort in the state to get this fixed so Santa Rosa could apply. because we were looped out of it because we had too many people. And they upped the number so Santa Rosa could get in. Not so Santa Rosa and this one and that one and that one. So Santa Rosa could get in. And then we didn't file.
Effort. FDOT involved in this. Commissioner Peach, we've talked about it many times, couldn't agree with you more about a interpersonal relationship with FDOT, how important it is to the big scheme of things.
It's good to have friends. It's not good to smack the hands of your friends.
I saw a couple comments from them, very public comments, that indicated to me that they weren't too happy with some of the things that was said. And I have a personal fear that we damaged the relationship a little bit there. I think if you ask our state rep and our state senator, you would probably find that they were a little disappointed in how that went. From a personal...
Now, I would like, and Jerry's right. He is absolutely right. Now, I would appreciate, or I would like to have a little bit more Chris Smith in Cooey. Just a little bit. I understand the politician kind of thing in him, but I would like to see a little bit of fire.
Point. Let me just say this. If anybody believes that I ever walk to this counter and ask a question that I don't know the answer to already, you're wrong. I knew the answer to the question.
That's like a good prosecutor. You don't ask a question you don't already know the answer to. Jerry knew the answer the other day when he said, there's a rumor that we didn't file for SCOP funds. Oh, we filed for it, they said. So we did file for it. That's what he...
Before I ask it regarding what happened here, it wasn't part of a rumor. It was part of the facts. To Dan and the commissioners, I'm not trying to pick on anybody here, but it was a list of facts. There wasn't a rumor involved in any of that. I'm disappointed that the paperwork didn't get turned in. I'm disappointed that it was said that the state ran out of money, and that goes back to the relationships that we need to have as a county with FDOT. I think they were taken back with how all this went down. To Dan,
as were the citizens. Now, let me say this. He knew the answer to the question. He gave Dan Schiebler 2 opportunities to correct his statement. So he goes, so we did file. And Dan goes, yeah, yep. But FDOT ran out of money. Public statements.
2 big concerns was, did you know or did you not know? That concerns me. Did you know? A lot of things have been said in all this, and I want to believe. I know there's not an appetite for any changes here. I'm just looking for some personal growth.
Oh, I think there are. I think well, not among the board. There's not an appetite, but among the citizens, there's an appetite. There's a hunger. There's a craving for a change in the county administrator. You don't lie to us. You don't do it. And Dan Schiebler knowingly lied. Now, Jerry's being very kind. I don't know if you knew, I don't know what you knew or didn't know. He knew. He knew. And now it's come down to it.
From that lesson, the very fact that I'm standing here today should let you all know that had an impact in my life about being truthful, being ethical, and being moral.
Jerry just told a story about getting beat as a child. A whooping from his daddy.
3 of those lessons were there. It was an impact for me. So Dan, I hope this has been an impact. I have recently had an opportunity to spend a little more time with Dan as we work our way through the wastewater treatment plant, our regional wastewater treatment plant. And
I'm sorry.
I want to leave the podium today and say this.
Okay. So and Jerry's right. Now, here is Sam. This is Sam's response. And this is where I want to kind of focus a little bit today as this process starts.
Mr. Cooey, I had a question. I want to start off before I send my question, and I'm not asking this.
Sam went on this big long thing about how much he appreciates Mr. Cooey and that kind of thing.
Anyway, I say that in any way to be argumentative, but as a chance to learn from, one of my seniors in the community, as being a young man who is also grappling with raising two youngsters, and I've got a similar story like you did about your dad. But to help me understand and to try to think about how to move things forward in a constructive manner without, and I agree with you on accountability, 100%. And I've sat right here and
I don't know if you do, but we continue.
I had to confess mistakes I've made, but I want to understand the rationale behind, because I feel like it could have helped probably facilitate some positive change without some of the erosion of, as you said,
Listen, he wants some rationale from Mr. Cooey.
Relationships and other things. When you came to the podium last week and you knew the answer, and I appreciate you bringing the issue forward. I know there's an array of different ways that it could have been done. I was not aware of it, and I think positive in the long run will come out of it. But why at that time, if you knew what was going on, and you asked him, Dan, here it is, and you asked twice, like you said, and then he said that, why would you not address the issue at that moment as far as sharing with us what you knew?
So what was the rationale behind that? Because you asked the question twice. But why didn't, if you knew the answer, why didn't you share that with us? Because you've caused a big problem. That's what he said. That is what Sam Parker said. Now let me point this out. Sam has not said anything about Dan Schiebler lying. He lied. And Sam hasn't said anything. He hasn't. Jerry didn't cause this problem. Jerry brought it to light. But it was Dan Schiebler who caused the issue. And Sam is saying nothing about who caused the issue. He is putting it on Cooey. My goodness, people. This is the mindset of this county commission board. Now, Jerry, why didn't you say something about it then? Why didn't you answer the question? Because we didn't know. Well, that's a problem that you didn't know. That's a problem you didn't know. And now you are blaming the whistleblower for exposing the liar. You should have said something that day. You've caused us a lot of embarrassment. No. Your county administrator caused the embarrassment. That's where the problem lies. Holy smokes. Sam never once asked Dan, why didn't you tell the truth? Nope. It never happened, Deborah. Didn't happen. Sharon says, if you recall, I warned you about this. Yeah, I know. It's Jerry's fault for not addressing why he knew the facts. Right. It can't be Dan's fault. Dan's the victim here. If you watch the whole video, Dan is the victim. And if you call him out for lying and you call out his thing, you are attacking him personally. You're assassinating his character. No, it's okay whatever you say about James Calkins. That's perfectly all right. But you can't attack the character and malign the character of Dan Schiebler, who is begging to be fired. He's begging for it. He's begging for it. Now, I got a problem. I have a real problem with this. That they are blaming Cooey for Schiebler's sin. They are blaming Jerry Cooey for Schiebler's sin. There's no other explanation. Oh, no, we're not blaming them. We just want to understand. No, why don't you seek to understand why Schiebler lied? 4 times. 4 times. That's all we want to know. That is the bare minimum. We just want to know why. Why did you lie? You didn't file the paperwork. Fine. We get that. Why did you lie about it? Because that causes a deeper questions. If he just told the truth about it, but he didn't. He lied to you. Yep, we filed it. No, you didn't. I take full responsibility for what my staff did that I didn't know anything about. And we're done with it. Well, then why did you lie about it? Do you take responsibility for your lies? You don't. That will be the 3 persons blamed for Schiebler. What? What do you mean that? I don't understand. Just let's recall all of them and put new people in. And that's, I don't know what we're coming down to. I don't know what we're coming down to. All right. So here is an answer to Sam's question. Sam's question was, why didn't you say something about it at the time so we could avoided all this embarrassment for us because that you caused, Jerry?
I'm a private citizen. I'm not in charge of running this. The 5 of you are. Mm-hmm. All right?
Put it on them.
Period. End of story. I have spent the last 25 years doing my best to keep this county out of the ditch. And it's stuff such as this that continues to be a problem. It's stuff such as violating my First Amendment rights with a change in the speaker's rule that I had to spend 5 weeks gathering people up for. It's the flooding. The whole purpose of starting a watershed protection committee is because it's not getting handled. All right? It wasn't.
He says all these things that are going on is because you aren't doing your job.
Question when I came up here. I asked a question and you see what happened. Don't look to me as the bad guy, Commissioner Parker.
You should have asked a question, Jerry Cooey. How dare you ask a question? How dare you ask a question? And Jerry puts it right back on him.
Guys, let me take that back. Since you said it, you that's your job to find out why we didn't get the correct information. All right? And let me say this, Commissioner Parker. You jumped all over the removal of Roy Andrews, made a giant scene about it. Now you take a completely different thing here. But to answer your question fully, I'm a private citizen looking out for the citizens in Santa Rosa County and the taxpayers, the tax money that I pay in here, and I'm periodically going to ask those questions. I periodically request public documents. All right? We want to get on the tear here. Let's get on the tear. I've had enough of the games that's being played with public records around here right now. I'm going to tell you, this commission, Bob Cole understands because he was here. If you want me to take off on public records and things of that nature, you won't like it. At one time, I read 450,000 emails from commissioners Commissioners and Economic Development Organization here. I made a request for a public record. It automatically went to the correct department, and I got the answer. A few days later, I made some comments up here that caused a little controversy. I made another records request, and suddenly, oh, you'll go have to find that on your own. See, that's some.
Yeah, they change the rules as it goes forward. So if you make things uncomfortable for them, they change the rules. That's what they do.
Stuff that's happening here right now. I feel like it's my duty, I've accepted that duty, to when I see a problem to try to do something about it. That's why I've joined hand in hand.
As all citizens should. As all citizens should. You see a problem, you bring it up.
Over this wastewater treatment stuff. The thing is completely out of control. And I told Dan then, and will continue to, I'm going to put everything I can into getting the right decision made there. But I asked that question because I've seen some other circumstances, the exact same thing, when it's just as easy to say, I made a mistake. All right, we hurt a lot of people's feelings in this. Trust me.
But you can't say that. You can't say, I made a mistake. Now, he did later on, but he didn't admit to lying. He didn't admit to that. But we know, we have it on video, that he lied. I'm going to put together a package of all of this.
All right. I don't know who you may have talked to, but I've talked to a lot of people. We damaged some relationships in this that we're going to have to repair. We are going to have to do better. Okay? Several of you invited me to come to the first budget hearing, right there in the front row. What did I learn? We're $12 million in the hole. We ain't even started budget season yet. That's some of the frustrations that I have in this, but I hope that answers your question.
And then Sam goes, it didn't answer my question, really. I want to know why you didn't help us out, why you didn't give us a chance to cover up. Here's Sam. But where's the question about the lie? Why are not these people concerned about the lies? Well, SCOP is an issue and, we should think about this. But where is the question about the lies? Nobody is saying anything except Calkins. Oh. Okay. Someone says there's no sound. All right. Video failed to start. Okay. Hold on. Let me try it again.
Honestly,
take it down. Whoops. All right. Okay, let's try it again.
It's honestly gotten away from as much of the issue about, and it is an issue, about not applying for SCOP. How was that decision made? What can we do to better improve that decision as far as our organization? Lord, none of us are going to be here one day. How can we improve that? I feel like, unfortunately, at least from my perception, is we've moved away from that and we moved into what we, I think is safe to say, surmise from a lot of people, questioning a man's integrity. And so now,
so we're questioning a man's integrity. Well, if you have told 4 lies publicly, you have no integrity. Do you understand that? He said we've got to off topic to questioning a man's integrity. The man lied. The man lied. We are not questioning his integrity. He has no integrity. We are pointing out this man is seriously flawed, to say the least. Questioning a man's integrity. Although Sam Parker sat silent like a cigar store Indian, while these people bashed James Calkins over not being Christian. What about integrity there, Sam Parker? So you have a concern about Dan Schiebler's integrity being questioned, but not about James Calkins. And Dan Schiebler has given you cause for concern, but there is no question there for sure. We continue.
Some of the folks I hear from say he should be fired because he's a liar. Some say he should be fired because of the funding. Some say he should.
I say he should be fired because of the combo. I think the lie is greater than the funding. The funding was bad. You're put on notice. But when he lied about it, you can't deal with that. You can't deal with somebody like that.
Hey, he's had his reprimand. I mean, my God, he's. Some people say, hey, you know, what are we?
He's not had his reprimand. He has not had his reprimand. He has sat there and smirked at you time and time again as they ask a question. What was the question? You know exactly what the question is, you smirking little jerk. This guy is impossible. And Sam, I don't understand how you could say, oh, he's had his reprimand. No, he has not. Everyone on that board should be pounding on him, but they're not.
For it, and that was the reason I asked the question to you, is as a personal growth opportunity to say, I felt like if
you just asked five questions.
No, I asked one question.
Well, no, you just ran through a series of questions
that people
right?
asked. Yeah, let me finish.
That
I'll let you finish.
The five of you need to get the answers to.
Right. And I absolutely agree with that. What I wanted to say was I definitely didn't care.
What? Oh, okay, hold on. Let me get the video back up. Let's try it again. I don't know what the issue is this morning, but sorry.
I definitely didn't characterize you in being you're a citizen, First Amendment rights. I was following there. I'm just pointing out to you that was not Sam attacking Jerry. I asked the question of why you didn't address it that day because I felt like it would have been a lot clearer at that time. And so I'm trying to learn from you. Obviously, you've been on this old earth longer than I have about the reasoning and rationale behind that. Because I felt like that day we could have focused on what happened. What can we do to improve that rather than now?
Fire Schiebler. That's what you could do to improve that. Because now, it would have been interesting that day if Jerry said, nope, you lied. You just lied to me twice. Why did you lie to me? Because I have the proof that you did. I mean, he could have done that. But that would not have moved you. Now, some of you it may have. But I like the way Jerry did it. He has now said it was submitted. They ran out of money. Now people didn't apply. New people didn't apply. We decided not to submit. You right. All those cannot be true. There's lies there. He knew ahead of time before that meeting that there was no submission of that thing. He knew ahead of time. He needs to go. Sam, you're talking about Sam. I am now questioning the validity of 4 of the 5 county commissioners. But I will say this. If you get rid of Schiebler and absolutely demand he goes, and we'll talk about the organization of the thing here in a little bit. But if you get rid of him, the others are on notice. The others are on notice. They will have to listen to you. They can't pull the wool over your eyes. If you show up in mass, torches and pitchforks, figuratively, don't bring torches and pitchforks, but it's the mindset of the villagers you understand from the Frankenstein movies. It is you showing up in mass that gets things done. That's the only thing that gets through to these people. That's the only thing. They don't fear you. And they need to have a fear of the people, not being afraid of them, but having a reverence at, hey, I work for you, and I understand that I've got to toe the mark. The way they perform under pressure is revealing alarming character traits. Yeah, their characters, all right. So let me go back to the video.
Now, what has become, a character?
Well, I'm not participating in the character stuff.
Right.
Okay? I'm participating in the taxpayers getting the most bang for their buck. We have a problem here, and it needs to be taken care of. You just reeled off 4 questions that I think this board should answer in all fairness. Okay? You can't improve. If you don't do a plus delta after everything you do, you can't improve, Sam. You just can't. And in this circumstance, what's the deltas here? Why? Who, what, why, and when? Go ask the questions. I'm just a fella who barely graduated high school trying to help out his fellow citizens up here. All right? I shouldn't have to put in the effort that I put into, but I care about this county, and I want the right answers to come forth for our tax dollars. All right? And it has, we've had about 6 months here. Think about it. Right to speak, all the flooding, 135 people in this room 3 times.
Get this. Listen to this.
That a development not happen on Berry Hill Road. In 2 weeks later, we paid $890,000 to somebody to ask us what we think. All right, think about that. Put your arms around that for a moment. We paid somebody $800,000 to elicit what we think, and you had 135 people sitting right here screaming at you.
Yeah. That is the mindset, because because the 135 people didn't give them the answer that they wanted. They didn't give them the answer that they wanted. And so they said, well, we got 135 people here against the construction on Berry Hill Road, the development. So we need to pay this money to get somebody in to find out what the people think. Isn't that what these forums are for? We want to know what you think. And then they don't follow it. There you go. All right, there's more.
When you already know that notices were sent out in November to fill out the paperwork, when you already know that multiple people were told about the paperwork, when you already know that the paperwork wasn't filled out, when you already know that we've hurt relationships. I mean, all of that stuff started happening in November. Now, I found out about most of it recently, but I mean, do you understand the frustration of a taxpayer who, when you that becomes your reality? When Jerry has been in 1,000 meetings, not specifically the 5 of you, but everybody that's been on that side of the counter is always wanting more money from us. That's the level of frustration. I asked the question to give an opportunity. And you see what
And
happened.
they slapped the opportunity.
That's my frustration. Now, I'm good. I've looked at Dan today. I'm going to be just like Bob Cole. I'm done with it after today.
Let me tell you something, Jerry. I agreed with you up to that point, because we're not done with it. We're not good. We are not good, because he lied, and he has not taken responsibility for that lie. And so we're not done with it. This is not over. Do you get that? Are you finished with it? Are you like, okay? We've dwelt on this enough. Bob Cole goes, oh, we've had enough of this. We just need to move on. No. It is exactly, Sharon. We the people are not done with it. It is not that they have offended you. And you are not done with it. They have not appeased you. They pulled Jerry to the side prior to this meeting. That's a problem. I think they're afraid of firing city attorney and a chunk of city employees if they fire city administrator too, who will train and provide continuity. Who's going to train them? Do you want them trained by criminals? By liars? Do you want them trained by those people? I don't. I would rather have pull them in from another county. Ask for help from a sister county. Someone there's other counties around you. Ask for help. They can bring in somebody and say this is the way it should be done and help get it straight. Fire the people that are at fault. Get rid of the problem. You don't get rid of rats by feeding rats. You don't get rid of them that way. You get rid of them by eliminating them. That's the only way to take care of it. Why is it that we have to coddle these people? They work for you. Fire the liars and the incompetent. This is beyond reprehensible. Timothy says politicians lie. We're beating on a dead horse. Oh, so we should excuse it? I'm sorry. I am of the mindset that we don't excuse it. That you don't get better until you expect better. The politicians, they're liars. What are you going to do? No. That's not what we do. We show up en masse and hold them accountable. That's what you do. No petitions. None of this stuff. You show up. May 11th at 4:30. You get your neighbors, your family, your friends, your coworkers. And you show up and demand change. You demand better. We will not settle for you lying to us anymore. I don't know. I don't know, Michael. Yeah. Something needs to be done. This is like organized crime. This is like organized crime. And they're aiming to have James Calkins whacked character-wise. That's what they do. I go back to this. Sam Parker was concerned about the integrity of Dan Schiebler. It comes down to attacking his character, his integrity. I'm sorry, where were you when they were attacking James Calkins' integrity? You didn't have a problem with them saying he wasn't Christian. You didn't have a problem with them with Peach and Cole and Colton bashing him. You didn't have a problem with that. Why do they keep asking Calkins about if he's armed or not? Yeah, I mean, if you are a concealed carry, you don't want people to know that. That's the whole purpose of concealed carry. You don't want people knowing if you're. That is what keeps people in check. When I lived in Texas for 20 years, you didn't mess with people because you didn't know if they were carrying or not. That kept people kind of in line. It does. But so rather than want to know why, well, he didn't lie. He misspoke, according to Nolan. Schiebler lied. And all they could do is bash Calkins. Anybody in your right mind have a clue at how twisted this is. Nobody, none of those guys. Well, he should have done that. We'll let it go. It's all right. He's a good guy. But yet they bash Calkins for standing up for the people. That shows you how they value or don't value you. No one should say, why aren't they saying, and you lied. Admit you lied to us. Fine him. Do something. I want to see some action. I don't want to go, meh. And they're just giving you a meh. The impartiality is obvious. Oh, my gosh, yes. Yeah. The whole thing's a meh. You don't matter to them. They do not care one iota about what you think. We have to hold them accountable. Lying to you is not okay. It's not business as usual. And we can't let it stand. Not only did Schiebler lie to you, but Peach, Wright, Cole are all backing it up. I'm not sure where Sam stands at the moment. I'm not sure where Parker stands at the moment. It went from mistake to criminal. Absolutely. Three or four of the commissioners are complicit. Now, I don't know. Again, I don't know where Parker stands completely. I don't. Maybe he's trying to just be, kind of diplomatic, whatever. But this is impossible. Cassandra says Schiebler should resign, but he doesn't have the kind of character, because if he did, he wouldn't lie to you. So he doesn't. He won't resign. He will not resign. He does not. He is not a person of character. And so he will not do the right thing. He will not do the right thing. And the other commissioners will not hold him to do the right thing. He must be run out of town. Okay. Kenny broke the rule. No pronouns. I suppose you meant Parker. Sam Parker stands with the good old boys. I don't know. I would like to think not. But we don't know yet. Sam did blame Cooey. Well, I'm not blaming him, he said. But he did blame Cooey. Why didn't you give us the answer that day? You saved us a lot of embarrassment. Why aren't you banging on Schiebler for lying? Where is that? Where is that? Well, he's taken his licks, his reprimand. No, he hasn't. He's not been reprimanded. He's been called out by the people. Nobody on that dais, except for Calkins, has called him out. And Calkins has been beat up for it. Calkins has taken more hits than Schiebler. And Calkins didn't lie. Schiebler did. Oh, my gosh. We'll know for sure May 11th. Will we? Will we know for sure May 11th? I don't know. I would like to think so. Three-ring circus. Maybe they are. They've taken from the Democratic mafia playbook. We now have to stay in them and question everything. Cooey did do a good job bringing it to light, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. We've got Sam on line. Sam, you there? Good to have you with us today. What's going on? What are your thoughts? Four times. Okay, Sam. Sam, hold on a second. Sam, hold on a quick second. They can't hear you. I'm gonna try to get you on here. Let's try it again. I'm gonna get my wife to kind of help me out here, make sure we can hear you. All right. Go ahead, Sam. All right, Sam, can you hear me?
Can you hear me better? Can you hear me better now?
I think so. Let's try it. Let's try it now.
I'm just saying, as someone who's worked in the oil and gas industry and doing well site evaluations, if I would have cost an oil company $1.5 million or $500,000, I would have been fired. I had to keep a $5 million bond for that, and I would have been sued for the monetary damages. And there's been times I've had to fire incompetence. And we run our businesses in the private sector like this, and our government, we should demand the same integrity and accountability that we do in our private business as we do it in government. And
it is a business
problem.
Yeah, it is a business.
And so I just wanted to get that my 2 cents worth in there. And every time we go before the board to talk about these kind of issues, whether it's this or other issues, it's almost like the people up there are talking down to us, and they work for us.
Right.
They are supposed to have a servant's heart, and that's the problem. We've got too many on that board that do not have a servant's heart. They see this as a way, I think, to enrich themselves with a $70,000 plus a year, salary. And then a lot of them, if you look at them, they're in dealings with real estate on the side with their buddies.
Yep.
And, I hate to say that, but they are.
Sam Mullins is on the phone with us, and somebody say, who's on there? Sam Mullins is on the phone with us. Go ahead, Sam.
And that's why I went down there, because I'm upset as a business owner that I have to hold my employees and myself accountable, but the people who are up there on that board, for the most part, are not being held accountable. And Shebler, who's a former military man, if someone would have lied to him under his command like that 4 times, they would have busted them in rank and run them out of the service.
Well, and here's the other part of that too is Dan is an employee. He's an employee.
Yes.
He works for the.
And then to have another.
Go ahead.
Exactly. And I just wanted to say real quick, and to have another commissioner in a public meeting question the commissioner's faith.
Yeah.
For him bringing this up, trying to get accountability. I'm sorry. The last time I read my scriptures, the only person that can question a person's faith is God himself.
Yep. So
I'm going to get off the phone and let you handle that. I just wanted to put my 2 cents worth in there on that, and I appreciate you taking my call, Nick.
Well, I appreciate your staying on this, brother. I appreciate you. Have a good day.
And we need everybody there May 11th.
May 11th. Thank you, sir. All right. So there you go. If you had a business, would you fire incompetence and somebody that lied to you? Look, if you got people that work underneath you, and you're responsible for them, wouldn't you know? You would know, or you should know. And if you didn't know, you should be fired for not knowing. This is beyond irresponsible, beyond reprehensible. And Schiebler's got to go. He is begging for it. Please fire me, he says. I've done everything I possibly can. You've worked with people who have begged to be fired. Everything they did was to get fired. Everything they did. This guy, not only, hold on, I'll get to that in a second, Angela. Not only is he a liar, he is incompetent and he's arrogant. You know what? I can handle incompetence in some people. What I can't handle is when they're incompetent and they're arrogant. That's this guy. That's that guy. Angela, it's going to be at the meeting, at the BOCC meeting on May 11th at 4:30 in the afternoon. Look on Milton Post. Jernigan's Landing, I'm sure, has it. It's up there. People are sharing it. We've got to get people out in mass. They got to know this will not stand. Pitchforks and torches, figuratively, don't show up with torches and pitchforks. Don't do that. Milton Post has put up the link to the event. Get ready. Mark your calendars. Make sure you are there and demand this guy be gone. It's behind McDonald's in Milton, in the county building there. Make sure you go. Always fire people who steal from business. Dan stole from the people by not applying for those funds. Now, it didn't cost us any money. Yeah, but you didn't apply for it, so it did cost us money. You see how he minces words? He's psychotic. He's a problem, people. When he says, I don't remember what the question was, or I already answered that, he is gaslighting you. He is psychotic. This guy is absolutely dangerous to have in the county. He's not just a liar. He is, wow, man, he's got some deep mental problems. And he's got to go. There's SSRN word. We may have lost 2.5 million. Oh. And we pay this incompetent, we pay this psychotic $140,000 a year to lie to you. We pay him $140,000 a year to lie to you to your face. Why did he not file? We don't know, Alex. We don't know. We don't know because he won't tell us. Well, you know, there's this and this. We had other priorities, blah, blah, blah. Katie, it's not that they're unprepared. It's that they don't care. We'll just get it from the people. We'll just tax them more. That's what it is. Yep, you could come. You can't speak, but you can come. They are deflection and deception, Michael. Holy mackerel, people. We should be way, way concerned. Fire this man, May 11th, 4:30 in the afternoon. Get everyone you can to show up. Friends, neighbors. Oh, I understand, Katie. I understand sarcasm. Bazinga. But get everybody you can to show up and say, this won't stand. He's got to be gone, and the rest of you are on notice. And that's how it's done. May 11th, 4:30. Put it on your calendar. All right, kids, got to get out of here. Thanks for another great day. Like it, share it. Send it to people who aren't watching. Ooh, we got to be I'm fired up. My poor wife. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.